Alrighty. So apparently, I guess Wings of Redemption and Boogie are talking about boxing. It says yes, the rumors are true. Happy Punch promo is in talks with Wings and Boogie for a boxing match. It's never going to happen. This video is from that, I don't know if you know this darn Irishman. It's not going to happen. They're not going to get medical clearance. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think that either of them. I'm not even sure if they could get into a point where they would be able to get medically cleared based on, like, you know, whatever. But even if they could, I don't think that they would. Losing weight can be very difficult. You know, on my own weight loss journey, it's going well. Specifically, my blood sugar is going down, so that's good. But it's going to be very difficult. Two of like the least athletic people ever to go to fight. It's laughable. I know if my health is bad, too bad to probably get cleared for fighting. Theirs would be, and I could sprint. I could, you know what? I'm gonna make a video of me sprinting soon because I've been going to the gym. My wife is amazed because I'm actually pretty athletic. So I'll make it like a YouTube short or something. I'll have her record me sprinting at the gym. You'd be surprised. Okay, you're gonna be terrified. But anyway, let's get this video going.
Morning, folks. Well, the news is just broken. Wings of Redemption versus Boogie2988 at Happy Punch, organized by none other than Keemstar himself. A boxing match that is 100%.
Well, I said that they're in talks. It's not going to happen. It's just like bullshit. It's just smoke up the ass. They don't know what they're talking about.
Going to happen, and it promises to be an athletic bout of the century as two legitimate powerhouses go to war with their perfectly toned bodies, and yeah, this whole thing is dumb. This was announced not too long ago there, at about 5:23 some standard time on the 27th, by Keemstar coming out to say that yes, the rumors were true that had been going around for months. Boogie2988 was, quote-unquote, in talks to fight Wings of Redemption for a boxing match with an estimated date of, well, what's that? Well, that's an obvious spelling mistake right there, right? You know, because who could possibly imagine?
What does it say?
Well, what's that?
2023. Oh, yeah, it's never gonna happen. It's way too soon.
Well, that's an obvious spelling mistake right there, right? You know, because who could possibly imagine two men who get out of breath by standing in place for a few minutes being in a fight-ready condition within just about 2 months? Well, Boogie2988, always ready for a little bit of attention and relevancy, immediately tweeted the announcement.
Oh
and Wings
my
of Redemption,
God.
Well, Wings was live streaming at the time, and his reaction was kind of unusual for this big, amazing event.
I got some stuff in the background working. Did Keem and Boogie ever drop something like that? I haven't signed the contract yet.
So, yeah, by the looks of it, it looks like Wings wasn't actually even told they were going to publicly announce it today.
Well, I mean, a contract? I mean, what would the contract say? You have to get into shape in 2 months and be able to get medically cleared? It doesn't make sense. There's not going to be a contract. It's all like a hype show, which is whatever, do you, but like it's never going to happen. I think everybody has to know that. But
and he also didn't seem overly pleased about it because he barely talked about it for the remaining 30 to 40 minutes of his live stream, only really giving sparse bits of information when prodded by his chat.
You waiting for the weigh-in? I wonder if they're going to do a weigh-in. They totally should do a weigh-in, though. Oh, I don't think we're going to have coaches or teams or cut men or anything like that, dude. We're not the main event. We're going to be one of the first matches on the card.
there's no way. I just don't believe that they're going to do anything.
I know exactly how much I weigh. I've showed my weight for much less than they're paying me. I'm not going to divulge any strategy I've got going on.
Strategy is just not fucking collapse. Holy shit. There's no way. Okay.
I'm not going to divulge any money I'm getting paid.
Well, based. Jesus Christ, the fucking ASMR is disgusting. Sorry.
I'm just trying to make my donation goal for today.
Damn.
One thing I've learned about being an adult is you don't count your money till it's in your pocket.
Okay.
What's my predictions for the fight?
I'm so happy I don't have to worry about donation goals, like, at all. Like, I don't even I don't even need to make donations on YouTube to be able to make money. Like like, I appreciate when people do donate in like memberships and stuff. It's really cool, but most of the money comes from like advertisements and stuff, like ads on YouTube, so it works out really well for me. Because I hate like the whole like begging for money thing. It's kind of, I think, sad. It's not like a life that I want to live like. So I'm very fortunate that I make enough money from like YouTube advertisements so I not have to engage in that kind of shit. But hey, listen, donations are always appreciated, guys. If you only have $1 left to your name, consider donating it to Papa Gut, guys. Consider giving all your money to me, even though you deserve it more than I do. Okay.
I dropped 60 pounds and dropped Boogie in the first round.
Wow, incredible.
I don't know. I don't have no. I ain't a fighter.
Damn, sad.
Hopefully, I'm the favorite because Boogie's in his 50s. I'm not. I'm in my 30s.
Damn, that's embarrassing. Really.
Honestly, I don't think either me or Boogie are good enough pugilists to have a hugging match.
A hugging match?
Kane, you should react to Boogie calling you out. Nah, I'm good. I'll do it later.
I'll do it. I'm good.
I just think it's something to live life with, man. I get to see the world.
Isn't that the funny thing though, that this guy could just like react to like the videos made about him specifically and make money off of that by posting it on there? That he just won't do it. Like he'd rather like private his streams the second that they're over. It's kind of sad.
I'm getting paid to do it. I mean, me and Boogie are, I would say it's evenly matched, but like I'm not a fighter. I don't think Boogie is a fighter either.
Already no confidence, bro. What's going on?
That's
here?
the reason I haven't signed the contract yet. I put it up there that I want Kelly to go with me.
Okay.
And they're seeing if they can swing that.
Why? She can just pay to go to herself.
It is going to be pay-per-view.
Okay.
Before I checked the live stream and saw Wings' reaction to it, I already immediately didn't believe it was going to happen. But after hearing all that, I really have no hopes that's going to happen now.
Yeah, true.
Try to remember, this is Boogie's third announced opponent since last year when it was announced that he would fight Sam Hyde. You know, the guy who never actually agreed to the fight. And
yeah, no. Well, obviously, like it's all for performance. There's no way that he would fight. It's like Sam Hyde. Like you should be terrified at even the thought of fighting that guy. He's been training for so long. Like he would fucking destroy Boogie or anyone else. Like that's a terrifying match. That's why Hassan's afraid. I would be too, bro. The guy's like a fucking powerhouse. You know, he's also like more technically like trained, so he was just going to be better in general. You know what I mean? You know, of course. So, but Hassan does say punch a Nazi, right? So I mean, come on, dude. If you think he's a Nazi, come on, bro.
Blaine F super chatted $1.99. They'll have a beatboxing match.
Yeah.
Last $2 BTW.
Oh shit! Thank you for the last $2. I don't even think that they would be able to have the endurance to do a beatboxing match either, dude. So let's be real. Not that I would, but I mean, like, I don't know why I keep saying stuff like that because I'm in much better shape than them. I'm not even that great of shape. So that's like, you know, that's like saying my fucking piss smells better than my shit, though. So
and never engaged with Boogie whatsoever about it. But it was still announced anyway by Keemstar as definitely happening. But why was he going to fight Sam Hyde? Okay. Well, because Sam Hyde was friends with Frank Hassel, who is basically the bane of Boogie's existence, and Boogie incorrectly thought that Frank would be upset if he was like fighting Sam Hyde. I think like, it was a wee bit silly.
No, it's because he wants money. Like that's really all it comes down to. It would be like attention for him to say that he was doing it.
Who was Boogie's second named opponent? Ethan Ralph. He had engaged with Boogie a few times on Twitter about it, and Boogie made like a video about it, and I think Ethan talked about it once or twice on his live stream, and then it was just kind of entirely forgotten about as well. But why did he want to fight Ralph? Oh, well, because he blamed Ralph for Frank Hassel coming to his house.
Okay.
Once again, just kind of for some reason. Wings, on the other hand, is just some guy to Boogie, though. He's another fat lolcoy. I guess that connects them. And sure, the two of them do seem to have a bit of history, with Boogie apparently reaching out to Wings to get information on how to shut down subreddits, and many people believing he then used this information to take down Sam and Talkie, which was the other bane of Boogie's existence. The two of them were also apparently meant to be doing a podcast at some point together, but that's been debated back and forth for a couple months now.
No, they weren't. Like, almost quit. That was like an idea that was thrown out there, and neither of them ever had like any serious like intentions about. Bro, I swear to God, I'm pretty sure it's all just like for public attention at this point. Of just like trying to get relevance so that there's more attention around their names, so people will like look them up on YouTube. Or holy fuck, who's texting me? Okay, my wife said that she saw somebody having Pringles and they look delicious. We've been eating more healthy, so that's very orgasmic thought to us now. So thank you. Interesting. Okay.
No, there's no real signs of it appearing. So, it's a bad start. Boogie doesn't really have a very good track record with this kind of thing already, with 2 fights already being dropped, and also with Boogie's incredibly inconsistent claims about his gym usage, which did include him hilariously claiming at one point that he was still actually going to the gym, guys, but he just wasn't telling anyone about it because apparently the trolls were upset that he was going to the gym.
Makes sense.
You know, like a Narnia-level fantasy story there. Wings is just as bad, though. There have been rumours of this fight for months, but Wings is not one to follow through with much. After raising money for his weight loss surgery all that time ago, he hummed and he had about it for so long, people actually started to believe it was a scam.
Well, I'm pretty sure he had the weight loss surgery, just didn't work. Yeah, the conversation about people, like big people losing weight on the internet is pretty less than stellar, but I don't feel like getting into like a whole systemic conversation. Literally any video I talk about fat stuff in there, I go through the whole fucking shebang. So.
Also kicked off his podcast, Painkiller already, because he'd agreed to go on a survival trip with 2 of the other hosts and dropped it the night before, only letting them know when one of the other hosts rang him to ask him where he was. When you combine this with Wings saying he is only 90% on board with the deal after it was announced, that he also didn't even know it was going to be announced, and that he sounded like he was reading a eulogy anytime he was talking about it on the live stream afterwards, I'm not really convinced this is going ahead. In my opinion, it's more than likely Keem's just doing what he did previously. He's announcing a match early to try and use the public pressure to force one side into doing it. The problem is, though, Wings doesn't really care about public pressure. If he did, he would have done the survival trip, because that was actually just something to do with his own podcast that he ended up getting kicked off of. The public spectacle of this is really the only driving force for it to happen, as I hope hate viewers will show up to try and buy tickets for it, but I think that's kind of a hard sell. Honestly, how many people in the local community actively dislike or care enough about Wings or Boogie to actually pay for it? Especially with the Wings community, who hate Wings so much that they aren't going to buy it. They'll just stream snipe it. They don't care. Boogie, on the other hand,
Some people will stream snipe stuff, but like, yeah, no, I could see them buying it. I could see some people like buying it to see what's going on.
And he doesn't really have a hater community anymore. No one really cares about him, you know? So I don't know. I think most people just...
Boogie has like enough of a hater community to like generate some kind of like outrage for him and something like that. So
just wait until it's up on Kiwi Farms or clipped on YouTube the next day. It's also kind of been pushed in a weird way by Keemstar, because not even 24 hours before this whole thing, he was tagged both in a public tweet to say that he needed to talk to them ASAP. You know, despite already being in contact with them personally to organize the podcast and all before, having Boogie's personal number and phoning him numerous times before, it really just screams desperation to try and paint this as a big and exciting thing, trying to build up hype for it. But I don't think anyone really cared about it. I think most people just assumed it was to do with the podcast again. The reaction to the announcement has been pretty much meh all around. There aren't very many people I've seen who actually believe it's going to happen, and even fewer still who think it's going to happen.
I mean, if people actually thought it was going to happen, then like they might be a little more excited. But that's the problem when you announce things that are very clearly not going to happen before they happen. It's what we call lying, and people don't usually respond particularly well to lying. So it just like it's like, oh, okay, that's boring, and it has like negative impacts on like, you know, future stuff that you might want to announce too. Because if they're like, okay, well, if you're lying about this and how much of what you're saying could be true, it's not really going to help your platform too much. But you know what, you do you. Doesn't matter to me.
And will actually be enjoyable. I know I certainly won't be paying for it. Wings is already causing issues though, as he's arguing that he wants his wife to be flown out as well as him. Oh, wait, did I not mention this is an international boxing event?
Yeah, so the reason that he's doing that is because he doesn't really care or take it seriously, and he's probably looking for an excuse not to do it. I understand you wanting your wife there, but like, you know, if you're actually more serious about it, you'd be like, okay, I'll have them to pay for it myself, which, you know, it could be very expensive, or you just suck it up just because you know that you'd get some clout out of it. So, but again, it's not really serious about it. So
yeah, Wing said it's not happening in the US, and that'll be pay-per-view. Happy Punch has held an event in London before, so that is a possibility. But hell, maybe Boogie will request it to be held down in Dublin specifically so he can try and Frank Castle me before he goes home. And pay-per-view? It's kind of weird. Boogie's already on Twitter claiming to his fans that he's pushing for it to be free view, which is definitely something Wings won't go for and will never happen.
We're pushing for the fight to be free to watch. Okay.
Like, look, it's not impossible for a company to have a free match as a teaser for the event, but this company's already had events, so it doesn't really need the advertising. And if they were going to pick a free match to whet people's appetite, I really doubt they'd pick two guys who may actually need wheelchairs to get to the ring. Despite all the issues, there is one thing that might actually push them to do it. Money. Boogie famously in October last year in a now deleted video begged his fan base to donate even a single dollar to him, which did cause a massive amount of backlash for him. He has since gone on to claim that he had never actually said that.
Well, it's because he was like fucking begging people for money. He wasn't just like asking for donations or anything. He was trying not to put out additional content. Instead of like making more content and stuff, he was like, please give me money. If you only have $5 to your name, I need it more. The guy who's rich. And, you know, he showed us his like apparently his budget, which didn't include food. So I don't know what the fuck he's on about. So yeah.
Well, that he did say it, but it was misunderstood. Well, actually, he did say it, but it was a mistake him saying that. Oh, well, he actually did say it, but he was actually just trying to troll people by saying that.
Yeah,
you know, just every excuse you can think of.
Kind of like this
Boogie,
guy.
however, makes a pretty good living on YouTube and Twitch still. Easily enough to support himself. He's in any way frugal. Wings claims to be the opposite, though, struggling to constantly.
Yeah, he's talking about how he makes like $70,000 a year, and like if you can't cut it on 70 grand, then you're just an idiot. Like you're just a fucking silly goose. So what are you talking about? Jesus, this is like ridiculous. The Shields fight.
To try and find ways to make ends meet, but since beggars apparently can be choosers, he was arguing how he wanted over $100,000 for it because he could apparently die in the ring, that he also wanted cuts from pay-per-view and prize money pools, etc., which is also why the pay-per-view thing is never going to work with Boogie's trying to push for it to be free view. So in my opinion, Wings is there for the payday because he doesn't really have a reputation left online, and the vast majority of his viewers are hate watchers anyway, so he might as well get the money from them. Boogie, on the other hand, is likely financially fine, but he does just want money for his more expensive hobbies, you know, like hiring sugar babies and buying Magic the Gathering cards.
True, it's expensive.
He does, however, want attention, though, because he still seems to believe that he can crawl back to the top, once Wings has given up on that a long time ago.
Not that I would.
The likelihood of the match happening is painfully slim, so I really wouldn't hold my breath, folks. But if it does happen, I also wouldn't hold my breath, because neither of these boys certainly can. They're both incredibly out of shape. They apparently only have 2 months to get ready, and more so than that. Yeah, Boogie, who was already at high risk of both a heart attack or a stroke, apparently now also has a blood cancer, which makes him far more at risk. So I don't really know of any doctors who would sign Boogie off as fit for a boxing match at nearly 50 years old. 400.
Yeah, I think I went to like a blood doctor a while ago, and they're like, yeah, you have some weird shit. I think they said it was like weird. I want to say it was leukemia, but it wasn't like a serious thing. I don't even know what it was. I forget what it was. It was weird. I didn't go back. They were just like, oh, you'll probably be fine. I was like, okay, whatever. There's like some kind of thing where it elevates your levels or something. I don't even know how the fuck it really. I should probably go back to the blood doctor. Or they said I could have that. No, they didn't say that. I think that, but I think it's just because of my diabetes. They were just trying to be overly precautious. I'm like, yeah, it's probably my diabetes. And because I had a cigarette, so you know, you're not supposed to do that. It fucks with your levels sometimes. I don't remember the specifics, but what are you gonna do? Oh fuck, I'm gonna get poisoned. Is what I'm gonna do. Fuck.
£100 and also cancer-ridden. But well, apparently Boogie already claimed he was signed off as perfectly healthy and fit for a boxing match by a doctor. You know, before he announced he had cancer.
There's no way that he would have.
It's kind of weird.
I'm fine,
if he does
bro.
sign off, the only interesting thing would be the weigh-in, because a lot of people do doubt Boogie's weight at being 380 pounds, which he staunchly argued for years now, despite any physical changes. I think Wings is possibly the same with people arguing about his weight, but I don't really follow him as close.
There's no way Boogie's 380 pounds. I'm 350 pounds, and I look like 10 times better than this guy. Guy's like fucking 450 pounds. What the fuck are you talking about? Did he say 350? I don't even know what he said. Maybe I'm wrong. There's no way. Bro, stop telling me to stay safe. You guys are cringe. Just the fuck up, okay? Weirdos. Fucking weird people.
Closely.
Oh, fuck.
But fine, guys. We'll step into Narnia here for a second. Both of them signed the contract. Wings gets all the conditions he wants and $82 billion. Boogie is somehow cleared medically. Both of them then fly out to the arena, and then what? You have two land wheels, one of which is a self-confessed pacifist who apparently has never thrown a punch at all in his entire life. So what are you hoping for? It wouldn't surprise me if both of them just walked to the ring and immediately threw themselves on the ground at the same time to get a double count out before the first bell's even rung. Honestly, it wouldn't really surprise me if this wasn't just a big attempt to advertise our upcoming podcast. Like, I'm not excited about it at all, but I know people want to hear my opinion on this, and that's why I'm making this video. I don't think any of you guys honestly think it's going to happen or are overly excited about it, but why not? It's probably the most...
He's 5'3"? Wow, I'm 6'4", so maybe that has something to do with it. That dude's really 5'3", jeez.
Interesting thing Boogie's done recently. I don't know, 0 out of 10. I just hope they have good insurance for the ring.
500 pounds superplex! Oh my god!
Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I
Bro!
just wanted to get a wee quick thing out to have a chat about this. I haven't talked about Boogie in a fair wee while, which I think I may have upset him somewhat. But we'll talk about that in the monthly recap, which I am currently intending to do. But I want to thank my patrons here first. Frank, Eswank, Healy, Blake D, I'm just saying an absolute massive thank you so much for donating, subscribing, all that malarkey. I do hope you guys have a good night. Take care of yourselves now. Bye-bye.
Damn, I get my fucking shit pushed. You notice this? I'm having a really bad run. I hate using the shield. It's a good video, though.
I want Papa God to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.